Okay, go ahead. Okay, so, hi. Hope you have a good day. I made these things to help us. This is what we're going to be using, okay? Every child is going to have 3 sheets, okay? 3 different sheets. One of them is going to be the assignment test registration sheet. One of them is going to be nightly homework log. And one of them is going to be event registry. And I'm going to tell you how to do all those really quick, okay? Number 1, we're going to start with the assignment test registration. We have a hard time that you're not correctly preparing for your assignments or doing them on time. And your mother and I, we cannot help you if we don't know about what you're doing. And sometimes you lose track, and we have to do makeups, and we have to do all these things, and it's starting to be really difficult. So this is going to help us to get our study organization skills down, so I could go to work and make money, and you guys can get A's and everything else. So I'm going to explain every one of these. First of all, we're going to start with your assignment test registration, okay? You could come closer if you want here. So assignment test registration here, you're going to write the student's name, write your name on top. All of you have one of these, okay? So you don't use your brother's. This all belongs to you. You write your name here and the date that this sheet is made, okay? The date that you created. And then when it's done and you need to create another sheet because this is all filled up, then you'll make a new one, write the new date, okay? The first field is write today's date. So when you get an assignment, you get a homework assignment, and this isn't for homework that's due like tomorrow. The assignment and test registration is for something that's due like more than the next day, okay? So the day after, only if it's due the day after, okay? If it's just due the next day, we're going to talk about that in a second. But this is really for larger assignments which you have more than one day. So you're going to write today's date, and you're going to write the date that it was assigned. So if your teacher gives you it, as soon as you know that you have an assignment due, whether it's due the day after tomorrow or next week, you're going to write down that date that it was assigned to you, okay? The date that they told you about it. Next, you're going to write reoccurring. Okay, there's a box in here that says reoccurring. That means, is this something that's going to be due every week, like your note taker or something? If you're going to write yes or no, okay? Due date, okay? Now, you write down the month and the date. It's there, like 7/10 or something, okay? Or if it's reoccurring, you could write Tuesday, okay? The date that it's due. Class. Which class is this for? Assignment test. Okay. So this is called assignment test registration. Okay. So it's not just assignment. This is also for test. So due date, I should have wrote maybe on there test date. When is a test going to be? Okay. So you're going to write down, what is the assignment about? Just, it's not, you don't got to write a book. Write 4 or 5 words so we know what they are, or we know what the test is about, okay? Finished. Well, did you finish studying? Did you finish the assignment? Yes or no? When it's finished, you will take this out of your box, and we're gonna tell you about the boxes, and you will circle that it's finished, okay? And then also turned in date. You will write the date that you turn this assignment in. And if you don't turn it in right away, you'll get it out of the box and you write down when it's turned in. And effort. You're going to write down here, what do you think you have? An A effort, B effort, C effort, D effort, F effort. You're going to write that down here. And then your actual score. When you get your paper graded, you're actually going to take this out of your box, and you're going to write the score, your actual score on here. And also you're going to put the assignment in your assignment checkbox. So there's going to be a box on the shelf, which I'll introduce to you, which you will place your assignments for us to review and us to look at and for you to review. And we will tell you what to do after that's in that box. After we review them, we will instruct you that it's okay to put in your archive folder. Okay, we need to know what you have coming, when it's due, and we need to organize our time, our study skills, because it's much easier to take the time to do it right and prepare it and do well the first time than have to do a lot of makeup lessons over and over again. Okay, so that's pretty simple. If you have any questions, ask me, and we could print out millions of these, right? Next, we're going to talk about your nightly homework log. Okay, so number one, unless it's an assignment that's due the very next day, whenever you work on what's on this list right here, we're going to keep a log on. We're going to keep a log of it, that we've done it, so we know that we're actually working for our goals and our assignments which were placed on this registration. Okay, so now we need to make sure that we're doing it. That way the due date doesn't come up and say, oh, well, I didn't do it. Oh, yeah, I didn't know. Well, now we're going to know that you're doing, we're going to know when it's due, and you're going to know that you put in the time. The first thing, student name, okay? And this is a little bit different. This is week number, okay? So because your homework log is, you know, maybe the next day, you know, this is for next day and next week's type homework. Okay, so this is different. Here you just write the date when you make this sheet. Here you're going to write the week number, like week 35 of how many weeks in the year, like 45 of 53 or something, and then you're going to write the date of the week. So what date? Okay, so I'm going to, so the dates, so if you're going to say like, and we're going to do your dates, so our dates and it's different than the official week number dates, but our dates start on a Monday and they finish on a Sunday. So this Monday till Sunday is our week numbers. So pay attention to that, because the official week numbers don't start and finish on that day, but ours do. Okay. You're going to write today's date that you're doing your homework. You're going to write down your homework assignment, when it was assigned, whether you just got it today or you got it last week or 3 weeks ago. The date that it was assigned, the date that it's due. Okay, maybe you're working on something due tomorrow, you write tomorrow. If you're working on something due next week, you write next week's date. What class it's for that you're working on it. Assignment, and this is also for study, so it says assignment test. So if you're studying for a test, and you better study for all tests, because we're going to check the logs. We're going to check the test registration. We're going to check the nightly log that you studied. That way you're prepared for all your exams and all your tests. But you write down a short description of the test, like math, division test, whatever, or social studies, the immigration, whatever test, okay? You're going to write a short description and finished. So it's not a penalty. Maybe some assignments you don't finish. Maybe you're working on it for more than one night. But if it's finished, or you're not, or finished studying, you're yes or no. All right, so then the turned in date, the date that you turned in your homework, or the date or the test date, put it there. Effort. You have, write down A to D, A to F effort. What kind of effort do you think you made yourself on this assignment? And then when you get the grade back from your test, you're going to take this out of the box, and you're going to write down your actual grade. So you could look back and you could say, well, did I get a good grade? Oh, I thought I did bad, but look, I did really good. Or I thought I did really good, and look, I did really bad. So who am I fooling? Am I fooling myself? Am I destroying my own future, or am I making my future better? And these days, they will determine what happens to you for the rest of your life. Okay, so last thing. Event registry. I cannot manage all three of you, and I can't have everything in my head, and your mom doesn't have these skills very well to help me, so we need to learn these skills ourselves. So this is going to help us prepare for things so we don't miss fun things like sporting events or something. And this isn't only about school. If you have any upcoming events that are outside of school or something special, you can put them on here. In fact, you must put them on here, okay? I will ask you if they're on your event registration login. These will be in your box, okay? You know, I took off all day. We see, you know, thank God there's fire outside because the girls' basketball is canceled. I didn't know that they even had that today. And there's soccer. I got to find out if you want to do soccer or not. And yeah, so, and with the homework, you know, Slayers you had an assignment for your Decalogue. Your final draft was due, and we didn't even have your final draft. I didn't even know that was due. In the future, if you had your Decalogue on here, I would know that. And you would know that you would practice when I ask you if you did your homework every night. We can take a look at what homework is due and what is not. And when we get a grade back, or if I look on Infinite Campus and I see that, oh, there was a big assignment, but it wasn't registered on here, then you're going to be in trouble for not registering your assignments when they're assigned to you, because I can't support you, and it makes me look really stupid when I call the school up and I say, oh, hey, Slayers has an F, did he do this? And they said, well, why didn't you get him ready? Well, I had no idea. We need to make sure that we know when there's assignments, and you need to make sure that you're working on the assignments so when you get the grade. Now, when you talk about registration, let's talk about this registration sheet. Write down your name.
萝卜，我要上洗手间。
等一下. Write down your name. Write down the creation date. Okay, we're almost done here. And today's date. Date notified. When did you find out about the event? I want to know when you found out about the event, okay? I want to know. Can you pause it? Is there a pause button?